Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Mel Tieman, and I am your son or daughter's geometry honors teacher this year. I think a lot of us were nervous, anxious at the start of the year, students and teachers not knowing how it would go. But I have truly been blown away at how wonderful this experience has been with remote learning. The kids want to learn, they're focused, they want to be there, and we're still making connections with one another and learning what we need to do with the curriculum. So it's been really eye-opening and great to see progress. So just wanted to start with that. A little bit about my family. I live in the Grange with my two boys, Charlie and Jack, first and third grade. Actually, they started school Monday at Ogden, and it looked different this year, but the joy and the excitement was still there, and that was really refreshing. My husband, he teaches English at North Campus, so we've both been at LT for quite some time, which I'll talk more about in a bit. Things we like to do together. We love to be outdoors, fishing, camping, downhill skiing is one of my favorite things to do. I love Steamboat, Colorado, just hiking, taking walks together, biking. We love the Cubs, we're big Bears fans, and just a little bit of personal information. I have played the piano since I was 4, and I absolutely love music. I love writing music if I have time to do that. Just a couple things about myself. As far as my education and a little bit of my background, my teaching background, I graduated from University of Iowa in 2002. I love the Hawkeyes, and I graduated with a degree in math and secondary education. And then a little bit after that, I went to the University of Illinois for my master's in curriculum and instruction. As far as LT, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I've been there now. This is my 19th year. I have loved every minute of it. I absolutely love my job and what I do, and hopefully that shows in my teaching to the students. So it's really important to me that you know why I teach. I tell the students this on day one. I actually had 2 specifically terrible math teachers in high school. And I always had a passion for math. I liked it. I was pretty good at it. And when you come across a teacher that just doesn't, reach you the same way or know how to explain the information in a way that's easy to understand, it's really difficult sometimes to learn. So in kind of a negative way, I learned how to, struggle, get grit about myself, persevere through challenges. And it really taught me about how I wanted to be as a teacher for students in the future. So that's really how it came about. And I actually loved my geometry teacher in high school. He was amazing. So I can't, let this presentation go and not mention him, but he's a big reason of why I wanted to teach geometry for quite some time. As far as my teaching philosophy, I really have the whole student approach. I love math. I like teaching math to kids, but I love teaching kids more. I love getting to know them, connecting with them, what gets them excited about life in general, and seeing them grow through the year is just such a joy in my job. So that's a little bit about my teaching philosophy. Course goals and description for geometry honors. Now, students will deepen their conceptual understanding of geometry and its applications to the real world. They will communicate geometry ideas in the language of mathematics. Something I want you to know is that in geometry honors, we do a lot of the tougher quadratic solving, systems of equations that they learned in Algebra 1. And right when the year started, we started to incorporate those concepts into the fundamentals of geometry. So it's important to me that you know that they will continue to have a strong algebra base through this course to carry them into the next course of Algebra 2. So there's a little course description below. It's on my syllabus on Canvas that I'll talk about in a bit. But if you would like to read more about, how we dive into proofs, which are really fun, we just started those and had a blast doing that. You can read more about that on the syllabus. Okay, grading practices are kind of new this year across the board at LT. So I am providing a lot of formative assessment. I think of formative as feedback opportunities for kids to see how are they doing, gauging their success, where do they need to work on things. Even though it's 0% of their actual calculated grade, it's like 100% important, which I tell the students, because it really is giving them the feedback they need in order to succeed on the summative test. So in what ways do I incorporate formatives? Objective checks, Canvas quizzes, I make online assessments for them. Some are paper, pencil, and I can post problems and give them immediate feedback in class. Homework, polls I can do through Zoom sessions to gauge their understanding. I already talked about in-class practice, but just going to the summative assessments, those are 100% of their grade. and those will be unit tests given at the end of every unit. Going off the formative assessments and the summatives, I have introduced CAM Scanner at the bottom of the screen here. The CAM Scanner app is a great opportunity for kids to still have the paper pencil work, but submit their work through a PDF to me for any formative or summative. They've already received individual feedback based on the work that they've submitted. I feel like that's really important. They still get that from me through this remote learning process. And it's been awesome. I've loved CAM Scanner. It's much easier to see their work. It's more clear pictures. It's been great. So let's move on to how are the class dynamics? How does class run and what materials are needed every day? I'll do warm-ups as I'm letting kids into our Zoom session. Every now and then I'll do a poll to check for understanding. Like I talked about, breakout rooms have been wonderful. So I can send kids to breakout rooms of 3 or 4 students, but what I've liked to do a lot recently is send them into individual breakout rooms to start their assignment. And what I can do is I can pop in on them individually, one-on-one, and get to know them on a one-to-one basis, which those have been the best part of remote learning, because that's when I actually get the kids to talk to me and get to know them a little bit. But breakout rooms have been great. There is a bit of direct instruction, obviously, to teach the material. And then I've talked about formatives and summatives. So the materials that students need: pencil, colored pen or pencil, because that's important for correcting work to see where they need to go back and practice, scratch paper, printed materials. If there is a printer available, that helps students a lot, especially with geometry. There's a lot of diagrams. Otherwise, they just use scratch paper. And of course, the good old calculator. Okay, so moving on to extra help opportunities. I tell students every day, I am just an email away, guys. Email me anytime, and we'll set up a time to meet, whether it's a one-on-one Zoom. You just need to ask a question over email. We can just schedule a time during the VP time listed here on the schedule. There's the lion day, the gold day, the blue day. I just wanted to post that so you could see what the schedule looks like if you haven't already. But it's been great. The kids are adjusting to the schedule well. I think it's a lot in the beginning, but with time, we all adjust. So moving on to my Canvas homepage, this is just a little screenshot of what it's been this week. You can see that I will update weekly calendars with all the necessary links for the week. This is fantastic because it's all in one spot, and it's our main source of communication. So you can see at the top of this screen, I have, my email, the course syllabus, which that's where you can go to get all the little details of the course there. We have our class Zoom meeting link for every day. We also have class norms that the students developed on their own and I typed up for their reference. And you can see this is week 3. I have a linked formative that we took early in the week. We have linked notes keys. If student misses class, then they can go ahead and click on that. I have homework with a key as well for any assignment we do, a blank version, a key, unless it's a book assignment, which we have a lot of book assignments, then they just use the textbook to reference the assignment and check the solutions when they're finished. But it's really all very, clear, straightforward. And I think students really like having one place to go versus worrying about all these other places they have to go to for one class. So I've really tried to streamline everything to make it as easy as possible through a more difficult year for everybody. Okay, so, well, there I am. But so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and just ask. I am working really hard for these kids. It's been a great year. They're working hard. We're really having a great time together. And I want you to know I take my job very seriously. I teach your child the way I want my kids to be taught, and I treat them the way I would want my children to be treated. So I absolutely love this job. I hope my passion comes through and ignites their, learning throughout the year. And I just want to thank you for your time to get to know me a little bit and to get to know a little bit about the course. Take care and have a great night.